Ask a child to spell the word fish, and you probably wouldn't expect the response G-H-O-T-I. There is, however, a way to use existing spelling sound correspondences found in the English language to accomplish this. If you take the sound GH makes in the word tough, add the O sound from the word women, and end with the sound TI makes in the suffix shun, you end up with fish. This is certainly an extreme example of the irregularities of the English spelling system that make learning to read English complicated for children. It demonstrates how the pronunciation of letter sounds is not consistent across all words, and these inconsistencies slow children's development of decoding skills. However, the example is somewhat misleading in that it neglects an important property of the English spelling system, that there are constraints regarding where particular letters can appear in words and what sounds those letters can make. So in the GHOTI example, the English spelling system does not allow GH to make the F sound at the start of the word. This only occurs at the end of a word. These probabilistic constraints define English spelling and help determine the pronunciation of letters as a function of letter position and the neighborhood of surrounding letters. It is important that children become sensitive to these constraints as they develop reading skills. For instance, as children learn to read words with the vowel grapheme EA, as in head and meat, they will become sensitive to the fact that the final consonant influences the vowel pronunciation, such that EA is more likely to be pronounced as when it occurs before D than when it occurs before other consonant letters. This is an example of sensitivity to the consonantal context, that is, the influence neighboring consonants have on vowel pronunciation, which is strongly correlated with word reading skill in children. Being able to understand and use the consonantal context to pronounce words is an example of a context-dependent phonics relationship. These context-dependent phonics relationships are at the center of the Variable Vowel Collaborative, a new learning disabilities innovation hub funded by the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. The goal of the hub is to help fill in the gaps of our collective knowledge about how young readers acquire these context-dependent sound-to-spelling relationships and why these relationships are easier for some children to acquire than others. The project hopes to identify important factors that can lead to improved, evidence-based instructional practices for children who struggle with learning to read. To learn more about the Variable Vowel Collaborative, visit fcrr.fsu.edu or follow us on Twitter @VVCollab.